Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today, we'll be discussing about how to set up a company in Estonia. Estonia is one of the fastest growing startup hubs in Europe, often called the Silicon Valley of Europe. It is also one of the best places to carry out business because of its highly digitized processes, global and well-connected network of e-resident community and entrepreneurial visa. The process of registering a company is hassle-free with low levels of bureaucracy, making it ideal for entrepreneurs to set up their companies in Estonia. So let us now discuss the procedure to set up a company in Estonia. The first step is obtaining e-Residency of Estonia. In order to set up a company in Estonia, all the founders, board members, etc. must be holders of Estonian e-Residency digital ID card or Belgian, Latvian or Estonian ID card, Estonian or Lithuanian mobile ID, and they should be private persons. In case the entrepreneur does not have any of these documents, he/she has to visit Notary in Estonia for the verification of foundation documents. To obtain e-Residency ID card, an application is made online. The required state fee is paid, which may vary between 100 to 120 euros. The second step is choosing the name of the company. The desired company's name must be decided, and the name of the company should be in Latin letters only, without any usage of special characters. The name should be unique and distinguishable from the existing companies in Estonia and the registered trademarks in Estonia and the European Union. If the entrepreneur wants to create a website for the company and social media accounts in the company's name, it is advised that the domain name should be brought before initiating the registration process. The desired name of the company can be checked at the Business Register Name Query Service. In case of rejection of the desired name, the application can be submitted again without any additional fee. It is not necessary that the name of your company matches with your brand name. Third step, deciding the main area of activity. Once the name has been decided, the entrepreneur needs to select the MTAC code, that is the Estonian Classification of Economic Activities, to determine the field of activity of your company. The entrepreneur needs to select the activity which corresponds to the principal area of business carried out by the company. This does not mean that the company cannot have additional activities for revenue generation. This code must be carefully selected by the entrepreneur because certain codes require specific licenses and special requirements. Fourth step is obtaining the legal address and appointing the contact person in Estonia. The Estonian company needs to have an Estonian legal address which can be acquired on an annual subscription. Although there is no requirement to have a local director, the company must appoint a local contact person. This contact person shall act as a manager between the company and the local authorities. However, this does not mean that a contact person can take decisions on behalf of the company. The entrepreneur shall remain the owner and the management board of the company, having full control and legal responsibility of the company. Fifth step, making an application for registration of the company. Having followed the previous steps, the entrepreneur is all set to go online and submit the application for registration of a private limited company on the company registration portal or through an API service provider. The submission of the application for the company's registration is a four-step process, namely preparation, signing, payment of the state fee, and submitting the application. The state fee must be paid to the account of the Ministry of Finance, Estonia. The prescribed fee for an expedited company registration process is 265 euros. The application for the company registration must be signed by all the shareholders and board members along with the contact person appointed in Estonia. These signatures can be made remotely with the help of secure digital IDs assigned to all the members of the company. Sixth step, making the share capital contribution. The entrepreneur has the option to set up a company without making the share capital contribution during the establishment process and postpone the event of contribution. If the entrepreneur wants to postpone the contribution of the share capital, he/she will need to mention the time in the application. The contribution can be made either by transferring the funds to the company's startup bank account or to the designated depository bank account of the company's registrar. Seventh step, completing the registration formalities. Once all the previously mentioned steps have been followed and the application fee has been submitted, the entrepreneur must wait for the court's decision on the application. Usually, the decision takes 1 day's time and the decision is communicated through email. Once the company has been registered in the business register, the entrepreneur needs to open a bank account to cover the company's banking needs. If the company does not have a business banking account in the European Economic Area, the entrepreneur must get an EU IBAN account. The EU IBAN account can be opened at an Estonian bank or through an EU licensed fintech company or by applying for a business bank account operating in EEA. 8th step, additional formalities for the company's registration. The entrepreneur must also prepare the necessary legal documents for the company, such as the founders agreement, articles of association, non-disclosure agreement, employment agreements, etc. The entrepreneur must also be aware of the tax and accounting framework and the related regulations in Estonia. Depending on the type of business activity carried out by the company, special licenses and permits are required to be taken from the Estonian authorities. If the turnover of the company surpasses the mark of 40,000 euros because of the business activities carried out by the company in Estonia, then the company must register itself of VAT registration. That was all about how to set up a company in Estonia. For more such information, please subscribe to the channel.